Am I here? I'm here. Okay. Hey guys. Oh wow! Right off the bat with a super chat. Okay, thanks for the $2, Kelly Cook. Thank you guys. How's everybody doing tonight? Sunday night. Again, happy Father's Day for anybody who got to celebrate that. First live. I love when I get like the first livers going on in here. Hey guys. As always, I'm gonna wait a couple minutes to get the chat filled up and then we'll get into it. I'm so excited for this full moon. I can't even tell you guys. Hey, WaterBaby Tarot, you spoil us. The one this morning was total impromptu. It wasn't even planning that one. Oh, Mini M, thank you for $1.99. New to Patreon. Oh, that's awesome. Thank you so much for signing up on Patreon. That's really cool. By the way, patrons, so I was trying to get videos out today. My technology has not been working for me. This is actually the only technology that's been working for me. I was only able to do one Patreon video today. But actually, I'm going to get into why that is. Oh, 111. Oh, that's cool. Hey, guys. Yeah, this full moon, I'm really excited. This is going to be a really good full moon, and I'm already feeling it. I mean, it is technically like in a few hours, right? Technically speaking. First time live. Hey girl, I love you so much. Seriously. Aw, you guys. There's gonna be so much going on for this last half of June and July. July is gonna be crazy. Okay, and we're gonna talk about July a little bit just because there is so much going on and we're actually already feeling a lot of July energy on top of all this full moon and other stuff. Okay, so it's like it's gonna be crazy, but it's gonna be so good, guys. It's gonna be really good. I love to study under you. Oh, everyone's been asking me if I'm gonna like start teaching. It's probably in the long-term plan, honestly, like just knowing myself. Perla Sanchez, thanks for the $1.99. I probably will end up teaching at some point, honestly, just knowing myself. But as of today, I don't plan on doing any mentoring just yet. Scorpio Sun 111, thank you for the 333. Thank you so much as always. Oh, New Zealand, hi. Oh my gosh, 111. I am Ether. Thank you. I love seeing you throughout the day. You know, I would like to do more live videos, and I probably will. I have a lot of ideas because of all this creative energy, right? I've got a lot of ideas that I have actually brewing, so I just want to plan it all accordingly. Very indicative of the energy that we're into right now, of having that kind of like mindset. I'm so anxious to think, just thinking about all of what's to come. Oh, anxiety is part of it. Brooke, thanks for the $1.99, especially because we're still in that new moon gem energy. We're gonna have that. It's pittering out. It's pretty pittered out, but we're still gonna have that until July 2nd. So a little bit of anxiety is still in the midst of things. Hey guys, where are we at? Oh, okay, so we can basically get started. Oh my God, Las Vegas. I meant to do a different amount. Oh, that's okay. That's okay. Oh, P.O. Box, you know what? Oh gosh, see, that's the thing. I actually have one now, and I meant to do a video on it, and I totally forgot. So after this, that's what I'll be doing, okay? All right, guys. I had a little bite of food before this, so sorry if I burp. Anyway, so let's get into full moon energy. So like I said, there's a lot I want to go over with you guys. So first, let's just go over the general energy of the full moon, and then we'll go over aspects that will be affecting you guys with this full moon energy. And then I had to write it all down because otherwise a lot. And then we'll get into what's going on in July a little bit. I don't want to talk too much about July because I want you guys to focus on this energy that we have right now because it's here, right? But there's definitely some shit we got to be prepared for. Okay, so first of all, this full moon is in Sagittarius, okay? And it's about 27 degrees, I believe, like 25 to 27 degrees, so it's kind of later, which is not a bad thing. I actually was really happy to see that. We've had some really strong full moons the last few months. Oh, good, not a super strong one. Oh, thank goodness. Even though it's going to be a really nice one, a very positive, high vibe one. Okay, check your charts because this full moon does affect Sagittarius first and foremost. Then I would say it affects Gemini second. Probably then Pisces and then Virgo. Yeah, Pisces and then Virgo, and then Cancer is always affected by moon cycles, especially the full moon. So keep that in mind and check your charts for the degrees. If the degrees are late, like 21 to 30, you will most likely be more affected. Okay, we're all affected, but some of us get hit harder because of our charts. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Let's see here. My Venus is in Gemini. Oh, Oh, and there's some Venus gem stuff I want to go over too. Thanks for the $5, Rose Quartz Beauty. Scorpio full moon didn't work out, so I'm excited about this. Well, that was a rough one. Oh God. I mean, I'm a Sun Scorpio, but yeah, that one took me for a bit of a ride too. All right, so this full moon's in Sagittarius, which is ruled by Jupiter. That's creative energy. It's lucky energy. It's fortunate energy, right? It's also the energy of being able to see, and that's always why I refer to Sagittarius as like the intuitive fire sign, because the Sag energy does carry that. Okay, so firstly, be prepared for your intuition to be really on point if you have strong Sagittarius. Thanks for the oh my God, 2222 whole again one oh gosh, all these numbers. Whole again 1111. Thank you for the 2222. That's a very generous super chat. Thank you. So for anybody who has that strong Sag in their chart, or if you have strong mutable placements in your chart, sorry, at the later degrees, like the 21 to 30 degrees, if you've got a lot of that going on, thanks for the 189 and 399 pounds. Oh, that's really cool. Thank you guys. It will affect you guys, okay? But it's bringing in a lot of creative energy too, which is really fabulous, right? It's about wanting to have new experiences, wanting to explore. Thanks for the $9.99, Olivia Booth. Wanting to explore, wanting to expand, wanting the new, wanting to go here, wanting to go there. It's going to be a lot of that energy, which is going to actually be more optimistic as well. So your mood is going to feel a little bit better the closer you get to, well, the full moon's right here. But even as we are working with that full moon energy as time goes on, and we're moving also away from that new moon in Gemini energy, a lot more optimistic energy is going to come in, which is going to be amazing. Your intuition, your dreams, visions are going to be a lot clearer. There's going to be a lot more shit coming through. So please be mindful of what comes through. Like, even if it's something that you're just like you don't want to know, just embrace it. You're seeing stuff for a reason, right? And even outside of abilities, the idea of seeing ahead, like if you've been planning something and you're like, okay, I can see like the next 3 steps. Now you're going to be able to see the next 10 steps. Things are just going to come a lot faster as far as what you want to execute and what you want to plan for yourself. But mostly this is circulating around like new ideas and new things that you want, mostly about experiences. Okay. Oh, and that's the other thing. When you're having these new experiences, you're going to be really serious about it. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun, but you're going to be a lot more serious about it. And it's going to like feel a lot more closer to home with whatever new experiences you want, including things that you want to study, places you want to go, or even just new perspectives. Because Sagittarius and the 9th house, it's all about beliefs, right? The belief system, philosophy, new perspectives are going to be coming in for people. People are going to be changing their minds about things. Oh, Priyanka, thank you for the 1999. God, a lot of generous donations today, guys. Thank you. So be prepared for that people around you, their perspectives might start to change about certain things, especially spirituality. So that being said, let's get into the aspects, because there's a lot of aspects going on that's affecting people. So the first aspect, Saturn and Pluto have been in Cap for a while. They're going to be in Cap for a while. And that energy has actually been kind of pushing people to start changing things about the structures of their life, right? The structures of their life, even like the foundations about their life and the directions that they're heading. People have been wanting to change these things. Oh, Brooke McIntosh, thanks for the $3.99. And that includes people in it. That includes lifestyle changes. That even includes career, especially with all that Cap energy, right? And of course, we can always get into the whole government patriarchal changes, which are happening. And definitely there you can see a lot of that reflected in the planetary shifts that we're going to be experiencing, even all the way up to 2022. But that's already been going on. And so this full moon in Sag is really what's going to be like, okay, time to jump in. You've been wanting to do this. You've been planning to do these changes, making these shifts in your life. It's time to do it. It's time to jump in. So it's going to be really good energy, okay? Really great energy. Also, some energy you guys might have already been experiencing. On the 14th, Mars in Cancer started opposing Saturn, which created a lot more productive energy as well. Sending what I can. Oh, thank you for the 279. I dumb 65. Honestly, guys, any little super chat is like awesome. Like, I always think that's so cool. You guys give me super chats. I'm like, oh, that's a cool little surprise. Oh yeah, guys, hit the like button. We have over, oh my God, we have over 1,000 people in here. Oh, that's insane. That's crazy. Definitely hit the like button for the 1,000 people that are in here. So this shift happened a couple days ago. So in the last couple of days, you guys have probably been feeling a lot more amped up, a lot more productive, a lot more creative, and a lot more just like ready to get up and go. And coupling with the full moon and Sag energy that we already went over, that's a lot of productivity coming out of people and wanting to come out of people. Trisha Brown, thank you for the $2. And if you're not being productive, like let's say you've been having trouble even getting motivated, but feeling like you want to be motivated, you're only going to get more restless if you don't do anything. So that's a little warning. If you don't do anything with this energy, it's going to make you crazy. Just Maxine, thank you for the 254. My anxiety has been through the roof, so drained. Yeah, that new moon Gemini energy gave us a nice little dose of anxiety. But now that we're in this energy, like you're going to get more anxious if you don't act on those impulses to go for these changes or have these new experiences, or even just wanting new people in your life. Lauren Robertson, thank you for the $9.99. So keep that in mind. It's great energy to work with, but you got to use it. You actually have to use it. And if you don't, you're going to be restless and anxious and very agitated and very irritable. So just know that. Oh, yes, yes, yes. So I mentioned this in the other, I mentioned this before in the last video I did, the new moon in Gemini video. Mercury, Cancer, and Mars in Cancer. Yeah, just watch the tongue. Just watch the words. Isabella Tarot. Oh, sorry, that was a total tongue twister for me. Thanks for the $4.99. Watch the tongue. Watch what you say. Watch how you're saying it. Watch how you come across, especially with full moon and Sag. It's no secret, Saggies, I love you, but y'all are blunt. You're blunt as fuck. You just are. You just are. So that coupled with Mars in Cancer, which does not like to be in Cancer, with Mercury in Cancer, that's a lot of very quick, blunt communication. And for some, it's also going to be very passionate and emotional because we're all going to be in that mindset of really giving a shit about what we're doing because we're feeling very passionate about these changes that we're making on an individual level. Okay? So just watch the tongue. Just be careful, okay? Let's see what else we got going on here. Oh, okay, that was another interesting thing that I noticed. So when I look at charts and like shifts of what's going on, oh, Emerald Empress, thanks for the 111. It's really cool how it gets laid out, and if you know what to look for. Oh, sorry, curl got away from me. When I look at it, so we have Mercury and Mars in Cancer, so they're like basically right next to each other in that house, right? And then all the way across the way, opposite of that, you have the Saturn and Pluto both in Capricorn happening at the same time, okay, around this time period. So that actually is going to be very interesting because it's going to create even more enthusiasm, like very much about the passion I was just talking about. And this is going to transpire across all different contexts, like one-on-one conversations about being very enthusiastic and passionate about what you're saying, and also a need to be heard too, a very big need to be heard. But it's also going to transpire across groups, like big scales. We're going to see that come across in governments. We're going to see that come across at work and meetings. It's like, it's not going to just be one-on-one conversations. Okay. So just take note of that. Let's see what else I got going on here. Oh, okay, great. So now we're getting into some real interesting dates and shifts on certain dates. So the 21st is the solstice, as a lot of us know. For anybody who celebrates Litha out there, right? It's happening on the 21st, at least in the northern hemisphere, is my understanding. And on the same day, Neptune actually goes stationary retrograde on the exact same day of the solstice. Now, Neptune's in Pisces. It's home in Pisces, even though it's going to start going retrograde. The really cool thing about that is it's actually going to really enhance spirituality, like a lot. It's going to like get people to really think about their spiritual perspectives and their practices. And Hiller, thank you for the 1111. This energy is fierce, makes my Leo self super type A. This is a good time to be type A. This is a perfect time to be type A. This is the great energy you want to be type A. So use it. Don't apologize to people. Just use it. Just use it. Keisha, thank you for the 222. So when Neptune goes direct, guys, it's going to get people to really question their spiritual practice and to really focus more on it. There's going to be a lot more feeling of needing to be a little within regarding spirituality to be more connected. Okay, so we're going to notice a lot of people are going to be raising their vibrations when this transition takes place. Now, the really cool thing about Neptune going retrograde on the day of the solstice is that it actually goes direct 3 months later in October when Pluto also goes direct. So I know it's a lot of information, so let's go over that one more time. So Neptune goes retro, stationary retro, on the day of the solstice, bringing people more into their spirituality, bringing people also into a lot more revelations because they are honing in on their spirituality. People's intuitions are amped up because of the full moon in Sag, along with this aspect going on with Neptune. A lot of other secrets and revelations are going to come to light for people, even if it's just a self-realization about you, like your own self. Not to mention Pluto is still also retrograde in Capricorn, constantly digging shit up. That, I forget, when did that go? When did that go retro? I can't remember when Pluto first went retrograde. Was it in April? I think it was April when it first went retrograde. Anyway, doesn't matter. Ever since Pluto went retrograde, there's been a lot of self-digging up of old wounds and old crap to get that shit out. And we've also been getting a lot of secrets coming out between us and other people in our life. Northern Comfort Tarot, thanks for the 1111 just to see that priceless smile. Thank you. Now I'm like, anyway, so be prepared for that it's like, this is the year of uncovering secrets. Essentially, this is the year for that. Okay, and it's because we are coming to a lot of awareness, we are raising our vibrations, and in doing that, a lot of stuff comes to light. Okay, so this Neptune going retrograde for the next 3 months, starting the day of the solstice, when the veil is a lot thinner, mind you, it's gonna be really awesome. Which, by the way, even if you don't practice Litha, the 21st, because the veil is thinner, it's a really good time to meditate. Like, if you don't meditate any other day, please do it on the 21st if you're in the Northern Hemisphere. Please do it. It's just going to be beneficial for you. And if you meditate with other people, it's going to be even more amplified. So definitely something to think about in your planning of the rest of your month, okay? And one of the last aspects I want to touch on for the rest of June, we have Venus in Gemini opposing Jupiter on the 23rd, 24th, depending on where you are in the world. And that is actually going to add even more creative energy because it's opposing Jupiter, both about creation. Gemini is about creation, Jupiter is about creation. Venus is the aesthetics, it's the beauty, also more creative energy. That's just going to get even thrown on top of the already big creative energy batch that we're going to be working with. So I know, as I have been talking a lot, I said a lot. So for the rest of the month, guys, it's creative time, it's proactive time, it's time to put your money where your mouth is, it's time to get shit going with the changes you've been already planning for yourself and wanting for yourself ever since essentially 2018, okay? I know, it's a lot. Oh my God, we have 1,400 people in the chat. Oh, and 414. Oh, that's awesome. I love seeing that. That's awesome. Maybelline, thanks for the $4.99. Thank you for helping me see the light. Oh, guys. I'm just a messenger. I'm just the messenger. So the last thing I want to talk about, what we should be expecting for July as far as like the big stuff. So we have Mercury going retrograde on the 7th, I believe, the 7th of July. The 20th of June is when the pre-shadow effect starts. And as we all know, with Mercury retrogrades, three things to keep in mind. It's hater season. When Mercury goes retrograde, it's hater season, all right? So just know that if you got to block people, block people. If you got to avoid people, avoid people. I probably won't be reading any comments for the next 6 weeks, to be honest, to be really frank with you, just because people tend to really pop off at the mouth during Mercury retrograde, is always going into retrograde. Well, it kind of is because Mercury has such a quick orbit. When you really think about it, I've actually crunched the numbers one time because I'm such a math nerd and I had to know. Roughly, it's different every year, but each year on average, 20% of the days are in Mercury retrograde. All right. I know it's a little hard to swallow. It's kind of a lot. It's a lot of time, but just know that. And I don't even think that counts like the pre-shadow and post-shadow effects. Okay. It's hater season. That's number one. It's hater season. Secondly, people from the past always come back. They always come back during Mercury retrograde. Always, always. So just get prepared for that. And the last thing about Mercury retrograde, guys, Shit, I just had a brain fart. I was like, oh my God, it was right there. Oh, decision making. Duh. Everyone always talks about that. Ashley Williams, thanks for the 222. So guys, don't let the decision making scare you about Mercury retrograde. As long as you just take the time to think it out all the way. Oh my God, 1,500 people. That's crazy. You'll be okay. It's just about don't make quick decisions. Just don't make quick decisions. Just sit there and think about it. Give yourself like 24 hours, you know, during Mercury retrograde. That's all. That's all. It's like you can't realistically, I mean, I told you it's 20% of the year. For 20% of the year, you can't like just not make decisions just because it's Mercury retrograde. You just have to just really think it out. Just don't make quick decisions. Okay. All right. So that's the first thing. Mercury retrograde is upon us. Sandra Hernandez, thanks for the $3. And Queen B253, thanks for the $9.99. Oh, Professor WaterBaby. I love that actually. I really like that. That's cracking me up. Professor WaterBaby. I really like that. That's cute. So that's Mercury retrograde. Now, here's another cool thing about July. We have 2 eclipses, 2 in July, and we have 2 new moons and 1 full moon. Yeah, July is going to be interesting. So the first eclipse is a full solar eclipse on the 2nd of July, and I believe it's in Cancer. I do believe it's in Cancer. And then the full moon in Capricorn, which is when the other eclipse happens, which is a partial lunar eclipse actually, happens on the 16th. Okay. So eclipses, the one thing to really, not one thing, but I guess there's a couple things. I know, I always say that. So something to keep in mind with eclipses, they also bring exes back. They also bring people back. So we're going to be seeing a lot of that for a while, okay? Because it's energy. So it amps up and then you experience it and then it amps down. So we're already in the pre-shadow effect for the first eclipse, all right? They also mess with technology, just like Mercury retrograde does, which is probably why my technology hasn't been working, except for this. Thank you. Except for this. This is the only piece of technology that's been working for me for like the last like day or two. Wait, I just saw something about Clyde. Clyde's energy is good today. He's better. He really made me mad earlier, actually. He really made me upset. But that's neither here nor there. But yeah, he's chill now because I just fed him too before this video. So anyway, back to the eclipses. They always bring people back, especially exes. Always bringing people back into your life. And eclipses are about massive change and massive adjustments. And we have two in 1 month. And one of them is really, really strong. Oh, thank you for the $1.99, Anita. So also know that even though July is bringing in all this new, we're having this new energy now because of full moon in Sag, but that's going to carry us into the month. And July has a vibration, numerologically speaking, of 1, which is going to be about new, exciting things, new beginnings. So July will be all about the new. However, with these eclipses, it's going to bring people back to close out anything that you didn't close out in June or May or any other time since the other eclipses that we experienced. Because we had like, what, 6 or 7 in 2018, something crazy like that. So anything you didn't close out that needs to be closed out for your newness is coming back, okay, for you to close it out. So just make sure you close everything that you need to close, okay? And like I said, a lot of adjustments, a lot of change, a lot of intense energy with eclipses. Now, for my twinsies out there, my twinsies, my divine counterparts, all of that, eclipses have been known to affect twin flames. Divine counterparts, like I always say, I feel is different. So I feel like it's going to affect more twin flames than anyone else. People tend to come into union during eclipses, and they are about new beginnings. Just got to make sure shit is closed out. I'm just saying, don't be surprised if that happens to you and you're in that situation, okay? But yeah, so get ready, guys. Like I said, we're in this full moon in Sag energy, getting us excited, positive, enthusiastic. We're about to get even more spiritual than we already are. And we're going to go into some really awesome new stuff. There's even luck on a lot of people's sides, especially if you have a lot of Sag in your chart. You're going to be a little luckier than you normally are. And then we hit that Mercury retrograde and those eclipses, and it's really going to shake shit up, but in a really good way, so that we can really attain the new and go for the new. All right. So yeah, a lot of stuff, but those are the big takeaways to, to keep in your mind for this time. But yeah, definitely work on your meditation, guys, especially once the 21st hits. Really work on your meditation. You're going to actually want to anyway. Chin Wilson, thanks for the $4.99. You're going to want to anyway. Wait, when is the retrograde again? On the 7th of July. But the pre-shadow effect is happening on the 20th, and we're already in the pre-shadow effect for the first eclipse. And then by time we're actually like, maybe first week or second week. No, first. By the time we hit the first week of July, we'll be in the pre-shadow effect for the next eclipse as well. Let's see. How can we heal past life issues? Oh, isn't that a rabbit hole? So there are a couple ways to go about it. So first way that is has become really popular is doing a past life regression. I've done one personally. I have done one, so I can always tell you what it's like. I don't recommend them for everybody, to be completely honest with you. And the reason I don't recommend them for everybody, oh, Karma Beaten, I love that. Thanks for the 333. Oh, Nova Scotia. Oh, that's so cool. Oh, I'm sorry, Clyde. Don't be scared. What was I saying? Oh, past life regressions. The reason I don't recommend them to everybody is because for me personally, it was a very vivid experience, and it was really like reliving some of those traumatic events. And did it help me heal? Absolutely. But I can't burn those images out of my head. I can't. And it's a question of, no matter what you see, are you prepared to see it? Especially when it relates to other people in your life, because that's also what I came to realize. It is healing because you're carrying these issues from those lives. And I didn't see all my lives. Oh my God, I can't imagine how long it would take for me to see all of my lives. I've got a lot. But it's always about people in your life that you need to heal shit with. On occasion, it could be stuff that doesn't have anything to do with anyone in your life, but I find that that's a rare occurrence. We all tend to travel together until shit gets resolved, right? But you can't unsee what you see. And I saw a couple things that are still with me to this day, and I'm just like, I don't regret it. But I also can't erase it from my memory. So I don't always recommend that. Hold on a second. This one's okay. So I don't always recommend doing a past life regression. Nikki the Stylist, thanks for the $1. Another way you can heal past lives is honestly by working through your issues with people in this life, because those are the same issues that are carried into this life. All right, so I'm trying to think of like a personal example I can give you without being too personal. I like a little privacy, but I love sharing with you guys. Let me think of one. Okay. So in my most recent past life, as far as my own understanding is concerned, my most recent past life was, to be honest, it was a kind of a tragic life. It ended very harshly. I actually ended up being a drunk, and I drank myself to death, essentially. And in this life, I definitely had quite the taste for booze, not gonna lie. And it's funny too, because I talked to other light workers, and this theme of addiction or substance abuse has kind of, I've seen it in a lot of other light workers who've like dealt with it in the past. I'm not saying I was an alcoholic in this life. I would actually say that I am not an alcoholic in this life, but I definitely liked it a lot. Lisa Marie, thanks for the $2. How do I know I have a spiritual gift? I'll get to that question right after I talk about this. It's not like I was ever dependent on it by any means. I just noticed that when I drank. And I was like, maybe I shouldn't be drinking if I just drank. Alicia Morris, thanks for the $2. I still drink now, but I've worked through those issues to where I don't have, like, when I go and have a drink, I can have just one drink. I used to be like, if I have a drink, I can't just have one. I need a few. It's not like I would just drink till I pass out. I would want a few, not just one. And there's nothing wrong for anyone who drinks like that. I just knew for me, it was leading to me making really poor decisions personally. So I was like, okay, I need to figure out why this is, right? And it didn't even click into me until I had that past life regression. I was like, oh, that's what that is. Okay. And when you just work on your own issues, guys, that your past lives will start to be healed in that way. All right. Scorpio Sun 111. Thanks for the 1111. Any advice on how to heal your inner child? I've been detached from my counterpart. That's a good question. Hold on. I want to address the spiritual gift one really quick. So how do you know if you have spiritual gifts? Um, everyone, this is a really interesting topic, and it's actually the topics I'm saving for that series that I'm going to do. But anyway, let's get into it. Some people are born with it. Some people are born with gifts. Other people, they develop as they get older, or they develop as they fall into their spiritual practice or become enlightened. Other people, I've noticed, they get triggered at certain ages, which I think is really interesting. Super adjustable, thanks for the $1.99. Can you do a video on synchronicities, please? I will. I will at some point. It's on the list, I promise. I made a whole list from all your comments. So it just depends on the person. Some people are born with it. They know right away. There's no denying that. When you're older and new abilities come on that you haven't had before, I do think that that's harder, because at that point, you know that it's not the norm, right? So I find that the hardest part is people just accepting it. Rex77, thanks for the $2. But abilities come in all flavors, guys, all kinds of flavors. There are a lot of different kinds of abilities people can have. And it is a very personal experience. And when it comes down to it, it's your personal experience, right? But if you have abilities, there really should be no question if you have them. You would know. You would definitely know. But they do get triggered later for other people. It can develop later. It can be developed in people, but conscious effort. And some people were just born with it. I was born with the abilities that I have. And then what was the other question here? Hold on, let me go back up. Oh, healing the inner child. Oh gosh, that's so hard. It's like, that is probably the toughest wounding to heal, is the inner child. And honestly, speaking from personal experience, because I feel like that's probably the most educational, speaking from personal experience, healing the inner child is a never-ending thing. No one can ever be 100% healed. Let me also say that. So don't get discouraged and don't get hard on yourself if you're like, I'm not 100% healed. No one is. No one is. It's a constant healing effort, especially as you have new experiences with people who do you wrong. It requires constant healing. There's always healing to do, always. And with the inner child, the hardest part I had was not only accepting my wounds that I acquired during my childhood. That was the biggest step for me, is accepting what the wounds were. And it was like, okay, I've accepted that those are the wounds. How do I go about healing them, acknowledging them? And it's really about practicing self-love first and foremost. Like, self-love is the first key to getting there. If you can't forgive other people, you can't forgive yourself unless you have that self-love in you. So that's first and foremost, accepting the wounds and what they are, what they were, working on self-love and what that means for you on a personal level. And then you can get to the point of forgiving them and forgiving yourself. And why do I say forgiving ourselves? Because that's always a component. That's always a component, right? Even if you know, it's like, okay, I was a child, I couldn't do anything, or I was a child and I was just subject to the woundings that I was subjected to, right? There's always a component of that, because at the end of the day, it's forgiving yourselves for taking this long to acknowledge it, forgiving yourself this long for allowing that wounding to take opportunities away from you or to do damage to your relationships up until the point that you accept them, right? So there's a lot of needing to accept, needing to fill yourself with self-love and acknowledging what those issues are. And then you can get to that stage of forgiving the people who did it, who caused those wounds, and forgiving yourself in the process as well. It's a hard process, especially with those childhood wounds. It's like, sometimes, things do get suppressed, or you start seeing things in a new way. Like for myself, that was something else that happened probably after the fact, where it was like, wow, I so did not see that with clear eyes 10 years ago, right? We have to keep growing and putting self-love within ourselves to get to that point, to see it clearly and to see it for what it is, because it's painful. And that's why we don't want to see it for what it is, because it's painful stuff, right? So yeah, that's my suggestion as far as going about healing inner child issues. If you have the capability of speaking to those people who did that, who did the wounding to you, by all means, I encourage you to try. It's not easy. It ain't easy, but I encourage you to try. But yeah, that was a long explanation, but I think it was a good one. Lisa Marie, thanks for the $2. I always have strong intuition. Is that good? Yes, of course that's good. That, how could that be bad? No, that's good. Hold on a second. Let's see. Alicia Morris, thanks for the $2. Can someone's purpose be directly linked to someone else's? Yes, it can. Very much so. And that's the other thing, guys. And I always say, oh, Julie Walters, thanks for the $10. My mother told me to ignore my abilities and I'm paying for it now. How do I take them down? So many questions, but we'll get to that. Hold on. What was the other question I was trying to answer first? Oh yeah, your purpose. So guys, I love that question. And actually, that's the first time I think I've ever gotten that question. We all have a role to play. Like, first and foremost, we all have a role to play just as an individual in the, you know, in this existence. But when it comes to forming your contract and when it comes to forming contracts with other people, you already set in, not set in stone, but you already write out and plan out what your roles are to each other. We all have roles for other people in their lives, just like they have roles in our lives, and just like how we have a role in the grand scheme of things for everyone, right? So yeah, absolutely. And what was this other question? Hold on. How do I tame them down? That's interesting because I've never wanted to tame my abilities down. How do you tame down abilities? You know, it depends on specifically what you're having an issue with. Oh, by the way, thanks for the £2, Alexandra. And Scorpio Sun, thanks for the $5. Taming your abilities down. That's so fascinating. Yeah, I've never tried to do that, but I would start with your guides, honestly, to be like, hey, this is too much. I need you guys to ease up a little bit. I don't need to know this. I don't need to know that. I don't want to see this. I don't want to hear that. And they should start to abide you, especially if it's too much for you to handle. I feel like that's a good approach because your guides can always actually help to diminish or amplify your abilities. And if you feel like it's too much, I would definitely just say like, hey, time out, too much. I can't deal. I would definitely go that route. And I think I mentioned this story in another video. This will be the last story, and then I'm gonna click off. Where I was actually in Sedona, and this was like right after I had my first session with Adriana. Hey guys, shout out to Adriana from Matching the Cosmos, and Misty as well. And I was having more astral episodes. And what do I say by that? It's like I would start going astral like in inappropriate times. And I was actually in the hospital getting my stitches taken out of my finger. And he had already taken them out and I started to feel it happening. And he came in and he looked at me. He's like, you don't look well. And I was like, I'm fine. It's like, you know, trying to like act like you're okay. And they're like, no, we can't let you leave. And I was like, oh shit. I was like, well, I kind of have to leave. It was like my last day too. So ever since then, I was like, okay, guys, you're not allowed to let that happen to me when I'm in a hospital, when I'm driving. It was like, I gave them a whole like list of roles, essentially. Metaphysical mama, I missed it all. Oh, oh no. Well, that's okay. It'll be posted. You can always watch from the beginning. But yeah, guys, if you ever are not liking something about your abilities or if it's too much, just say that to your guides and they will help you. That's what they're there for. They're there to help you. So just start talking to them. Just start talking to them. And I get the question a lot on how do you connect with your guides? Meditation's a good way. Just talking to them, just start talking. Even if you just talk out into the air, just start talking to them, talk to them telepathically. It takes time and it's a very personal experience, guys. When you're learning how to speak with your guides and connect with your guides, it is very personal. So I can tell you to do certain things, but at the end of the day, it's going to be a different experience for you than my own experience or someone else's experience. It's a personal thing that you have to develop for yourself. But I would start there. Just start talking to them. Beautiful Bruja Tarot. Thanks for the 555. Sister Lightworker, keep up the good work. Oh, thank you. Thank you, guys. So yeah, it's a very personal thing. You just got to start talking. You just got to start talking. And don't give up either. If you feel like you're not getting anything, just don't give up. Rainy Day, thanks for the $2. $2, $20? Okay, cool. But yeah, guys, so I hope this video was helpful. I feel like you guys actually feel more relieved, honestly, like from the beginning of the video. I don't know why I'm feeling that, but I'm feeling a lot of relief coming from you guys. But yeah, I hope it was helpful. Have a great night. You guys, this full moon's gonna be awesome. So stop worrying. This full moon's gonna be awesome. As long as you use the energy, the full moon is gonna be okay. All right. Have a good night, guys. Namaste.